On this Talking Albums, the record lady, a vinyl lover who gathers no moss.
Hello, my name is Jane, and I live in a school bus that I converted. It has a record store in the front of it, and I live in the back. And I travel around the United States in my school bus, selling albums as I go along. Mostly I sell at flea markets, multiple day events that I find throughout the country. I was approached about this project to pick out, among other things, maybe 6 of my favorite albums. And the more I thought, on the surface that sounded really easy, but then the more I thought about it, I realized it was going to be an impossible task for me. I love all music, all genres, so it's really hard. It's like grains of sand on the beach. I just couldn't. But I am going to talk about what people are buying and collecting these days, which is very interesting. It's a very exciting time to be selling albums. My happy place is driving down the road in my bus. I love traveling. I've had the bus about 4 years. I worked on it about 5 or 6 months before I put it on the road. And I just find events. I have some that I've gone to, big flea markets that they have in the fall and in the spring. So there'll be some set ones that I like to go to. And then in between, I just travel and find places wherever I can. A lot of times when I do flea markets, I'll ask other vendors where they like to go. And then this time of year, in the fall and winter, I start looking for somewhere warm, which right now has ended up being Florida, but who knows? I just like to go somewhere warm where I can still be outside selling and just generally being outside in the wintertime. I like selling at flea markets and open events because I really get a general walk of life with the customer base, and different parts of the country definitely buy different types of music. The collectors are all over the place now, as I'm sure you're aware and have heard, at least even on the news, about how albums are outselling CDs now. And it's no wonder. The collectors, I offhandedly say that the 15 to 30-year-olds are buying my diesel fuel, but in all honesty, they're much younger than 15. The very young to just whatever age. The young ones, I think, are probably the newer collectors. A lot of them started by getting their parents' or grandparents' collections. It's a lot of fun when parents and children come in together and they're both kind of looking for their own type of music, or they're agreeing. The parents are showing the children what they listen to, and it's a lot of fun. It really is. And then you get people like us that never quit collecting. It's just a continuation. It's getting harder to find stuff that you don't have because I only sell vintage. I really don't sell news, but I do get some vintage that is still sealed, which is very nice. I only buy collections now, so sometimes I'll get collections that have the sealed albums still in there. And then I get a lot of collectors that are recollecting. They had their collections that fell by the way, and I always get a tear in my eye when someone says they threw them away. But you get and I kid them and say, well, you're going to pay more for it this time, because I like really clean vintage stuff, and I try to price accordingly. And so it's just a fun time to be talking with people. I get the energy from them. I get people that come on the bus looking for that one record that they probably ask everybody that they see selling albums if they have it. About 90% of the time I've heard of it. A lot of times it's someone I've never heard of. But it's a lot of fun. Selling vintage, I never really know what my inventory will be, but I am going to talk about some that people consistently ask for and they sell quickly. The Beatles right now are being collected by the teens and preteens along with the usual seasoned collectors. Very hard to keep. Recently, there's been a lot of requests for Led Zeppelin, and I've been fortunate enough to have a lot of that to sell. Fleetwood Mac always sells. This Fleetwood Mac and Rumors are the two that sell the quickest with Fleetwood Mac when I put them out. We have Michael Jackson, Thriller, especially this time of year in October, right? And Eagles, Hotel California, a fan favorite, as it were, and people buy even just the cover of Hotel California sometimes. This one actually has the poster in it, and along those lines, Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon is, of course, the Pink Floyd that everybody seems to want to put in their collection, and this one has the posters in it. And then, of course, Queen, even before the movie, but since the movie, it's almost impossible to keep Queen. So no matter what part of the country, it seems like basically people like the tried and true standards. I get questioned and asked about heavy metal a lot, which is very hard to get and keep. But, and then along the same lines, I mean, I sell a lot of bluegrass and blues, which is hard to get good collections to keep. And then some country. The country is usually Johnny Cash and Willie Nelson, George Jones, the ones. And then, of course, there's Elvis. So it's just everybody's enjoying the music out there that touches their soul. With blues and bluegrass, people usually don't ask me for a particular artist. They usually just look through the section to see if something jumps out. And I find that to be the case with most of what I call the eclectic side of the bus, with the jazz and pop and soundtracks and what have you. But I sell a lot of the Walt Disney albums. And they're usually based on the Walt Disney movie, and they have the books attached to them. And families like to buy those. They come in together, and the children pick out the one they like, and they do sell quickly. The one artist that has been a constant thread through my life would be John Prine. He was just a lyrical genius. Any one song that he wrote just had phenomenal lyrics. I found my John Prine lyrics in the song Speed of the Sound of Loneliness. You're out there running just to be on the run. And I enjoy that. That's the life that I live, and especially selling albums along the way.